He didn't just get attacked. He got humiliated. Left face down. Lights glaring. Crowd confused. Commentary scrambling. And somewhere in that arena, a coward smiled behind a mask. But here's the part that should make you angry. The man who did it thought he got away with it. He thought Bron Breakker would just move on. He thought the locker room would stay silent. He thought the fans would forget. He thought wrong. Because tonight, we're breaking down how Bron Breakker finally got his revenge, and how the mystery attacker was revealed in a way nobody saw coming. And I need you to answer this right now before we even move forward. If someone blindsided you on the biggest night of your career, would you forgive? Or would you hunt them down? Let's talk about it. It started with momentum. Bron Breakker was on a tear, spearing through competition, steamrolling challengers, looking like the most unstoppable force in the building. Every week felt like a warning shot. You could see it in his eyes. Intensity, confidence, maybe even a little arrogance. And then it happened. The lights cut out. No music. No warning. Just darkness. When they came back on, Bron was laid out, motionless. Officials swarming. The crowd stunned into silence. No replay. No clear shot. Just one blurry image on the Titantron of a shadowy figure slipping through the crowd. That was it. No claim of responsibility. No backstage confrontation. Nothing. Now let me ask you something small but important. What's more terrifying? An enemy who tells you they're coming, or one who never says a word? Bron didn't say much the next week. He didn't rant. He didn't cry. He didn't demand justice. He just stared into the camera and said, "I'm not asking who did it. I'm daring them to do it again." And that's when things escalated. Because the attacks didn't stop. They got worse. Bron would be mid-promo, a lights flicker. Backstage interview, camera cuts out. Walking to the ring, barricade shakes. Each time, chaos. Each time, no clear culprit. And slowly, the locker room began to fracture. Was it a jealous rival? A former tag partner? A returning veteran? Someone Bron overlooked? Let's pause for a quick one. Who did you think it was at this point? Drop the name in the comments. I'm curious how many of you called it early. The rumors were wild. Some fans swore it had to be someone Bron disrespected months ago. Others believed it was a new arrival trying to make a statement. But here's the genius part. The attacker wasn't trying to win matches. He was trying to break Bron mentally. And for a moment it almost worked. You could see the change. Bron started second-guessing. Started swinging at shadows. Started accusing people who had nothing to do with it. And that's when doubt crept in. Was Bron losing control? Was the powerhouse cracking under pressure? One night, after another near ambush, Bron snapped. He speared the wrong guy. An innocent superstar. And the crowd booed. Not because they hated him. Because they didn't recognize him. That's what the attacker wanted. Isolation. Paranoia. Self-destruction. But here's what they didn't count on. Bron Breakker doesn't break. He adapts. Instead of chasing ghosts, Bron did something different. He went quiet. No interviews. No accusations. No wild brawls. He wrestled. He won. He waited. Have you ever noticed that the most dangerous predators go silent before they strike? Weeks passed. No attacks. No flickering lights. No shadows. The mystery felt dead. Fans started to think maybe it was just dropped. Maybe the attacker got cold feet. Maybe management shut it down. But then came the contract signing. High stakes. Main event atmosphere. Bron across the table from his next challenger. Tension thick. And suddenly, the lights flickered again. The crowd roared. Security rushed. Bron didn't move. He just smiled. Why? Because this time, he was ready. The masked figure jumped the barricade. Black hoodie. Gloves. Face covered. Same build. Same movements. But before he could strike, Bron spun, caught him mid-swing, and speared him through the table. The arena exploded. Finally. The mask didn't come off right away. Bron held him down, pressed his forearm across the attacker's throat, looked into the hard cam, and said, "You wanted me broken? Now you're exposed." And when the hood came off, the place lost its mind. It wasn't some random rookie. It wasn't an outside invader. It wasn't a ghost from the past. It was someone standing just feet away from Bron for months. Someone who shook his hand. Someone who trained with him. Someone who congratulated him after matches. The betrayal hit harder than any spear ever could. Now let me ask you this. Is betrayal worse when it comes from a rival or a friend? Because that's exactly what this was. The attacker confessed the next week. Said he was tired of living in Bron's shadow. Tired of hearing about his bloodline. Tired of the spotlight always landing on someone else. He said Bron didn't earn respect, he inherited it. And that lit the fuse. Bron didn't interrupt, didn't shout, didn't lunge. He just waited. And when the confession ended, he said 4 words. Then take it from me. No theatrics. No long speeches. Just a challenge. The match was set. No disqualifications. No countouts. No excuses. And if you think this was just about winning, you're wrong. This was about erasing humiliation. This was about proving he wasn't handed anything. This was about revenge. And the build-up was electric. Training montages. Backstage brawls. Security failing to keep them apart. You could feel the tension through the screen. Here's a quick one. Do you prefer long-term storytelling like this or quick surprise reveals? Let me know. Because this payoff? It hit different. Match night. Arena packed. Crowd divided. Some chanting Bron's name. Some chanting for chaos. The bell rang. No lockup. Just fists. Raw. Heavy. Angry. They fought into the crowd. Over barricades. Through tables. At one point, the attacker smashed a chair across Bron's back and screamed, "You're not special." And for a split second, Bron stayed down. That's when doubt crept back in. Could he actually lose this? Would the mind games finally pay off? But then something changed. Bron got up slower than usual. No wild sprint. No immediate spear attempt. Just controlled fury. Calculated violence. He dismantled his opponent piece by piece. Targeted the ribs. Targeted the legs. Took away the speed. Took away the escape routes. This wasn't rage anymore. This was revenge with precision. And when the attacker tried to run, Bron didn't chase. He cornered. Trapped him. Lifted him. And delivered the most brutal spear we've ever seen. Not just impact. Intent. He didn't go for the pin immediately. He pulled him up again, looked him in the eyes, and said, "You should have finished the job." Second spear. 1, 2, 3. Silence. Then eruption. Revenge complete. Or was it? Because here's the twist nobody expected. After the match, Bron didn't celebrate. He didn't taunt. He didn't raise his title high. He stood there, breathing heavy, looking down at the man who tried to destroy him. And then, he offered a hand. The crowd gasped. The attacker hesitated. For a moment you thought maybe, just maybe, redemption was possible. But pride is a dangerous thing. The hand wasn't accepted. Instead, it was slapped away. And that's when Bron's face hardened. He nodded once, as if to say, "You chose." And walked out. No more attacks after that. No more mind games. The mystery was over. The revenge delivered. But the rivalry? Before we wrap this up, one last thing I want you to think about. If you were in that locker room watching all this unfold, would you have stepped up to help Bron earlier? Or would you have stayed silent to protect yourself? Be honest. Because silence sometimes makes you part of the problem. This revenge arc didn't just elevate Bron. It exposed everyone else. It showed who stood tall and who hid in the dark. And now the entire landscape has shifted. Because the next person who even thinks about jumping Bron from behind, they'll remember what happened. They'll remember the table. They'll remember the mask coming off. They'll remember the spear. And they'll think twice. Or maybe they won't. Because in this business, revenge doesn't end stories. It starts new ones. So, here's the real question. Now that the mystery attacker has been revealed and crushed, who's next? Drop your predictions below. Is there another shadow waiting? Another jealous rival? Or does Bron's reign only get more dangerous from here? One thing's for sure. You can ambush a powerhouse. You can try to embarrass him. You can try to rewrite his story. But if you don't finish what you start, he will. And when he does, he won't just get even. He'll get revenge. And that's exactly what happened. Ring rumble out.